Hello and welcome, my name's Leon Street. Today I'm going to take you through using Magento e-commerce Community Edition for adding categories and products. The key thing with this training is really just to give you a quick start intro into managing and editing categories and products, knowing what they are, adding them, editing and deleting. The assumptions I'll be making during this video is that you already know how to log in, so you have the login URL, and that you have your own username and password. And the extras that we'll be covering will include changing your attribute sets for increased speed when editing and adding your products manually, and simple and configurable products, and just going through an example of those. Right, what we're going to do now is log into our Magento site. Okay, so the first thing is to enter your admin URL at the top in your web browser. Once the page is loaded, enter your username and password and then click on the login button. Now what has happened is the dashboard has loaded up, and this is the overview of your WordPress website. And so as your site goes live, all of the information about sales, average orders, searches and various other data will be loaded here. For this training video, we're going to cover categories, products, and dip our toes into attributes and attribute sets. The first thing to do is to head on over to the categories section of the site. To do that, you go to catalog and then click on manage categories, and then you get the page that we have here. So it loads up. You'll see that on the left hand side there's a list of categories that we have. The thing about this is that the default category is almost like a default item when it comes to your Magento site. This should never be deleted. It should always stay there because there's always a reference to this particular page when it comes to your website. Let's just move this back around. So whenever you're adding categories, you should always add them as subcategories to the default category. We then have commercials, which is another existing category that was on this site, and you'll see that we've got further categories as we go down. Now the simple way is that you can either collapse all or expand all if you want to look at what categories you've got there. Now what I want to do is just show you quickly how to add new categories. So click on default category and then click on add subcategory, and so when we click on add subcategory, you'll see that the form on the right hand side, rather than it being filled in, is now blank and ready for us to enter a new subcategory. So we're going to call this one test products category. So this is our test products category. Set active to yes. Here you can enter a description for the category if you need to enter one. This is normally displayed at the top of your category page. If you need the editor switched on, you can click on the WYSIWYG editor. When you click on that, it will load up the editor. So just depending on your internet connection will determine how quick that it loads, as well as your server. So eventually what you'll get here is the rich text editor. So we just show, there we go. So you'll see the rich text editor gives you all the kind of editing features you would expect in something like Microsoft Word, where you've got bold, align and various other things, and you can put your content in there. So if we go and get a paragraph from Lipsum, like this particular site here, and then we jump back into our page, we can, as a demonstration to show you, there's our content. You press submit and there it is. But the advantage of having the editor is that the editor will wrap your content with the correct HTML tags. Right, the next thing with categories, you have the option to enter a page title. This you would use specifically for search engine optimization and on-site optimization. You can enter a meta description, and then also there's an option here that says include in the navigation menu, and you can select yes by default unless you don't want it to appear in your main menu. The next tab we have for the category is display settings, and the normal settings that I normally have when it comes to this option here, it says in anchor, or is anchor, sorry, is to select that as yes, and that simply means that when we add this new category, will it show some options on the left hand side or the right hand side depending on your theme, and these options are normally filterable options for attributes of products in a given category. I'll get onto that a bit later. So that's the first step. What we're going to do now is press save, and what we should end up with is our new category, test products category, on the left, which we can see here. You can see it says 0, so that means there are no products currently linked to our category, and that's what we expect because we've only just added it. So if we go back to the general information tab, you can see here's our information that we entered previously, and the URL key has been populated automatically by Magento using our title, but it's all in lowercase. And as I mentioned, you can either enter page title or meta description, which is great for on-site search engine optimization and Google when it comes to rankings in search engines, as well as trying to optimize your pages for pay-per-click on Google AdWords. Right then, so if you need to move your categories around with the category tree on the left hand side, you can drag your category up either to change the order that it appears in, or to make your new category a subcategory of an existing category. So if I click on that, click, hold, and then drag it up, and then I can drag that up there just above where it says Citron C1, so we've got it as a new subcategory. And then if I go to the front end of this website and press refresh, and then under Citron, you'll see that our new category is now visible there in our menu. So if I click on test products category, you'll see that there's the category description that I copied from Lipsum, and like I said, it depends on your Magento theme layout. This will determine where the description for your category is displayed, as well as the category image and a few other bits and bobs. The other part that I mentioned where it says is anchor, once we start to add products to this particular category, what will happen is our attributes, if we have filterable options, will then start to load here to give your customers the ability to click on the filters to narrow down their product search. So if we go back to the admin dashboard in categories, and what I want to do is just double check a few things. Just change the order here of some categories just so I remember to keep them in the correct order. And with the Citron one, what I'm going to do is move our test category back out from it being a subcategory to a main. So now on the home page we should have our category appear here. So if I click refresh, there you go, there's our category now in the main menu, and all of the others are now unchanged. So in a nutshell, when it comes to Magento, and in particular this covers Magento 1.7 up to currently 1.8, this training video, when it comes to categories, it's very straightforward. The whole point of the categories is that it's a default way for Magento to have a form of structure when it comes to ordering your products. So when you add products, they must belong to a category, and that's the basic principle here. Again, if we want to get back to the dashboard, just go top left, click on dashboard in Magento. That will get you back to your dashboard where you logged in from. To get back to the categories, go to catalog, manage categories, and there we go, back to where we were previously. If you want to collapse all the categories on the left, you can do so, and then click on the category you wish to edit or choose to look at, and it loads on the right hand side. Right, so let's go back to the dashboard. That's categories done and dusted for the moment. The next step is then adding products, and so what I'll do is hover over catalog and then click on manage products. So what you'll now see is that we've got the manage products page, and we've got a few options here. You can see that currently there's one, we're on page 1 of 2. We have the option to change how many products we see on a page, and currently there are 33 records or products found. What I'd like to do is just increase that to 200, so it loads everything on this one page. So you can see everything is now loaded. The other thing is, if you wish to edit an existing product, you simply click on the name of a product if it's already here in your list, like we've done there. So we click on the product name, and this will load up our editor where we've entered our information previously. So I'm going to press back and then start with a fresh product. So what we're going to do is top right in Magento, click on add product. Now when we come to adding a new product, there's a few options that will appear. The first one is which attribute set do you wish to use. Now if you're using a fresh Magento installation, you're probably only going to have a default attribute set, so leave that as it is. If you've got different attributes set up, then you'll probably be aware of what those are or will have been advised by your existing web design company, and then you'll know which attribute set to choose. Otherwise use default. The next one is product type, and so what I would like to do is just give you a quick explanation of product type. When it comes to simple product, normally with a simple product, it's a product that doesn't have any options, and so it might be you're offering, let's say, a t-shirt that comes in green and you only have it in a small, and you will never have it in any other sizes or any other colors. You would choose, for this particular example, simple, so you'd create a simple product. So that's what we'll do. So click on continue. I'm going to call this one t-shirt small green, and you can give the product whatever title you wish. I'm only choosing this title just so I remember what options I want. So you enter a description, so imagine you have a description. Again, I'm going to use Lipsum just to drop some Latin in there. You then have a short description if you need to have one for your website. You can then put in the SKU, and this one's going to be t-shirt. I'm going to put GREN, and then I'll put small. So that's going to be my SKU, and SKU is normally the unique product code. I'll put pricing. This one's going to be £10. And tax class, if your company is VAT registered, then you will need to apply taxes, otherwise you can leave it as none. I'm going to select taxable goods for this particular example, and then for weight, if you use shipping by weight and you need to calculate weights, you will need to enter the weight of this particular item. I'm going to say this is half a kilogram, so 0.5, and then status, we'll choose it as enabled, and this will be visible in the catalog and search. So that's the first bit of information. If your product page, when you're adding products, looks slightly different to this, we'll come on to that a bit later on. For now, just stick with the video. So we'll then click on prices if there are further bits of tiered pricing you need to enter. In this particular example, we're not going to, it's not required. There's meta information, so if you wanted to optimize this particular product page, you could put your meta title, meta keywords, and your meta description. The title and description being the key ones that Google would really pay attention to when it comes to ranking your product pages. On the images tab, you can then upload multiple images for your product. So what I'll do is choose these two images here. So I've clicked on browse, chosen my images, clicked on open, and so it will preload them there so you can see what I've selected. Click on upload files, and right, what's it saying? So it's unable to create a new product. If this comes up, this will be down to write permissions on a given folder. What I would say is, if you can continue without this error appearing, please continue with the video. So we just click remove for the moment. I'll just stick with the one image. Once you've got your product image, you can give it a label. So this one is going to be t-shirt, if we write it, t-shirt green small, and then select it on the radio button as a base image, small image, and thumbnail. This simply means that this image will be the image used across wherever the product images are displayed on the front end of the website. So then the next one to click on is inventory. So how many have you got in stock? I only have 2 of these in stock, so in quantity put 2, and make sure you select it in stock if you're managing stock on your website. The next one along to fill in is categories. So in categories, I'm going to select the category we set up earlier. So I'll click on your chosen category. Now products can belong to more than one category if you need it to. So you can select multiple if you wish. Otherwise, at this point, click save and continue, and what will happen is by clicking on save and continue it will save the information but keep us on the editor page for the product, so we can continue to edit if we wish to. What I'd like to do is just do a bit of editing on the product description, so I'm loading up the editor. Just click on show hide editor, so the editor is now visible, and I'm just going to make this first few words bold and underline. Press submit, and now I'm going to press save here because I don't wish to continue editing this product. So if I then jump to the front end of the website and go to our category, you'll now see in our category we have one product here, which is our t-shirt small green, and the shop by filter options are showing up because when we created our category we selected it as an anchor to yes. And just to show you that, if I go back to the admin, go to catalog, manage categories, click on test products category, what we created, and then in display settings you'll see is anchor is set to yes. If I change is anchor set to no and press save category and then refresh the category on the front end, you'll see that those filter options disappear. And so it's entirely up to you, depending on the layout of your website, whether or not you wish to show those options on the left hand side. Now for this example, and for most websites that we tend to implement and set up and install with Magento, we set the anchor as yes. And so I'm just going to save that again in the category and just press refresh. So now we've got shop by price. So let's have a look at this product that we've created. Either click on the image or the title to get us to the product page, and you can see we then get the full size image which has a zoom feature on this particular theme. We've got the price, add to cart, and then down below we've got the description that I added with the bold and underline that I used on the editor. So depending on your layout of your theme will dictate where things are on the particular page, but just for this example that shows you how you can add a simple product to Magento. Right, now what I'd like to do next is look at a configurable product, and a configurable product is basically if we wish to offer that same green t-shirt but we offer the customer the option to choose whether or not they want small, medium or large. So we've gone back to the dashboard. Now what I'm going to do is go catalog and manage products. Right, this time on the top right click on add product, but instead of us going after simple, we need to choose configurable. We're keeping the attributes set the same. Click on continue. Now at this point we've got new product and it's saying what attribute do we wish to configure this new product by. You can see there's only one option we have at the moment called manufacturer, so we can't actually use size as an attribute. Now this is where I said earlier I'll then dip our toes into attributes and attribute sets. So what I'll do is click back. So if that appears on your website you'll need to follow this next step. Now the whole point of Magento is that products are created by having many attributes. So an attribute may be its name, size, color, maybe price is even an attribute of a product, and various other things. So what we can do is if we go to manage attributes we can look at the existing ones on Magento that are installed by default. You'll see somewhere, if I increase how many we can see on a page, we'll go to 100, that we have color. You'll see it's spelt in an American style, but that's not going against the software. But we've got no option, as you can see here where we come down, because it's in alphabetical order, for size. So we need to create a size attribute. So top right we're going to add a new attribute. This is going to be called size. It's going to be a global attribute, so the scope is global. It's going to be a text field. I'm going to make this one a drop down list so that we can choose sizes. Does it need to be a unique value? No. Are the values required? No, because we don't need every product on our site to have this attribute. Input validation, we don't need any of that for any error checks, and this applies to all products. And can it be used to create configurable products? Yes, this is the important one. If we wish to use size as an option that customers can select when we're creating our configurable product. Now, is it used in quick search? So can people search by size, or is it used in advanced search? So I'll just put advanced. Is it comparable on the front end or used in layered navigation, filterable with results? We'll say yes to that. Use in search results layered navigation. You can also put whether or not you want to put that in, so people can select. And used for promotional rules and conditions, and then you can also put the position. I'll just put position 1. You can leave it blank, it doesn't really matter. The other one is whether or not to allow HTML tags. We'll leave that. Visible on the product view page on the front end, and so whether or not this option is visible, and we can say yes, it is. And used in product listing, and this depends again on the theme design. Right, so we've entered that information. So the properties, now we need to add the labels. So here we're going to call this size for default store view, and then we need to add the options. So this one is going to be small, medium, so I'm just going to enter a few sizes here. We'll go up to extra large. Right, that's all we need. So now we need to just press save and continue, and you can see here it's saying that the attribute can only be in lowercase, and it can only be letters or numbers and contain underscores. So I'm just going to save that now. Let's try again. There we go. So that's saved. Right, so the product attribute has been saved. So at this point I'll just press back to go back to the list of attributes. Right, so now you'll see here is our attribute. Next step, once you've created your attribute, you must assign it to an attribute set. Remember, this step is only if your website hasn't got the correct attributes that you need for your products. This is really taking you through the process of adding new attributes and assigning them to a set. So the next step is we go to catalog, attributes, and down to manage attribute sets. If we click on the default one, which is the default one that's installed, you can see here is our attribute over here in the unassigned column. So let's click on size and let's drag it over to our general tab, and you'll see these general tabs basically align with what we have when we're adding a new product. And so actually this is the right place we need to add our size option. So I'm just going to put it above weight, and you can see there are other attributes that are assigned to the different groups on our product page when we're adding our product information. And if you do wish to move things around, you simply click on one of them, hold your mouse button down and drag it to wherever you wish for it to move to. So when I said previously, if our product page looks different to the one you have, it's because we've moved some of our attributes onto the general tab, which basically keeps all of your attributes in one place, so it's only one place that you need to enter all of that information. And the only reason why we've done this is it saves speed when you're saves time, when you're entering that product information. And obviously when you're running your own business in e-commerce, time is money. So we've moved our size attribute over here to the left. We're going to save the attribute set. Right, that's done. So now we can get back to what we originally needed to do, which was go to catalog, manage products, and top right click on add product, and we're going to create our new green t-shirt that comes in a number of sizes. So default attribute set, product type is configurable. We click on continue, and now we should have size as a configurable attribute we can create this product against, and we do. So click on the tick box, the checkbox here, click continue. Now we can begin creating our t-shirt. So this is our t-shirt green. Now at this point I've called this particular product t-shirt green, but you could also have another attribute that you create this product against called color, and so therefore you could give your customers the option to choose by color and size for this particular product. I'm just going to assume for this example that we only offer it in green, but you can choose between small, medium, large and extra large. So we've got our product name, t-shirt green. I'm going to just put new. I'm going to go back to Lipsum just so we've got a bit of description to go with our product. SKU, this is going to be t-shirt green, and I'm going to call it configurable. But your product code or SKU can be whatever unique product code you normally use in your business. The price for this t-shirt is going to be £15. 15. The tax class is going to be taxable goods, so whatever rate of tax you need to apply can be set onto these products. Status is enabled. Visibility is set to all of the correct information. And you may remember when I set up the original product, we put size here into the configurable part, but I'll show you where size comes into play a bit later. So set up the general information of your product. We'll then go down to inventory, and so you can say that this product will be in stock, and we'll come on to the exact stock data a bit later. Categories, we're going to put this product into our test products category, which we set up previously. And just before I forget, we'll put some product images to go with this. I'm going to choose a couple of logos here that I've got already waiting. So you browse, choose your logos, click on upload files. So you'll see that here our images are loaded there, and we're going to have Magento, the Magento logo as our default image. I'll put one more on there actually, put our logo back on and just upload that. Right. So we've got our general information filled in, we've got images, inventory, categories. Now you're probably thinking, but where do we put in our sizes? Now at this point what you need to do is press save and continue. So we're saving the information we've entered, but now we need to create the associated products, and this bottom tab here is where we do that. So click on associated products in Magento, and what you'll see is that the name of the product as well as the SKU is automatically entered here, but what it's now asking us for is the attribute data specific to the different sizes we have. So you've got status, visibility, and so we can say not visible individually if you don't want to show the individual sizes in your catalog, or you can if you do want to allow that, but I'm going to say no. But the size, now you can see we have our list of the attributes I created. So small, I'm going to say I've got 5 smalls in stock, and the price is going to be the same, so I don't need to enter that price again, and then simply click on quick create. Now if I scroll down, you'll see we have our t-shirt, and it automatically adds small to the name, as well as automatically creating its unique product code as well. So now what we need to do is enter the same for medium, but I've only got 2 mediums in stock. Click on quick create again, and now I'm going to do large. With large, let's say we've got 10 in stock. Quick create. Just scroll down. So we've got small, medium, large. Size, I'm going to do extra large, and for extra large I've only got 1 in stock. So quick create. The important thing here, you can see we've created simple products or child products for our configurable, so the options that people will have. We need to just scroll up and then click on save and continue. So there, our product has been saved. So what we now need to do is click on our test products category that we created. We should have 2 products listed. So there we have it. We have our small green simple products we created earlier. Now we have our new configurable product, and so what we're looking at having here is a product where there are size options available to choose from. So if I scroll down, you'll see there's our product image that I uploaded, and then we've got additional images that you can choose from. So say if you had more than 1 image for your t-shirt, so people can choose those and click on those. But not only that, we now have our label here with options for choosing your size. So for this particular t-shirt I could choose medium, and again large, extra large, so I'll leave it on large for now. And we have our product description. So once you click on add to cart, once that loads, you can see our t-shirt in size large has now been added to the shopping cart. So let's jump back to Magento. So then, just to summarize, this video has really been about showing you how to get onto the Magento dashboard, look at your categories. So we go to catalog, manage categories, choosing to expand all of them, ensuring that we only add categories as subcategories to the default category, entering the general information for a category. So if I click on this one, and you can see since we've added 2 new products, it now shows that there are 2 products associated with this particular category. And if I click on category products, you'll see it shows the particular products that are assigned to this category. We've then looked at managing products or adding products. So this list here, manage products, shows our previous list of products. And what you'll also notice now is that we have our simple product, the original one we created, our configurable product, and then for each of the size options we created, it chose to assign it as a simple product. So the configurable is almost like the parent product, and the simple product becomes the size or the attribute variant of whatever you set up. We chose size as our variant, and then it also shows a stock quantity which I entered. And aside from that, what we then looked at was if an attribute doesn't exist that you wish to give your customer the option to choose from, we then looked at managing attributes. We then added our own attribute and made sure that size was then available globally across the site for us then to use in creating a product. So once again, this is just a quick intro into managing categories, products, and a simple form of looking at attributes and attribute sets. So I hope this was useful. Thanks for watching. Once again, my name's Leon from youngcow.co.uk. The next videos will then focus on some other areas of Magento like sales, managing your orders, as well as CMS pages and how to edit static content on your site. Thanks for watching.